say this because it's fun. No, I live it. I live this. I know what I'm talking about. Okay, that's it. We're going to go to Jim, then Jeff, then Anthony, then Matt. Go ahead, Jim. Thanks for holding from North Carolina. You're on the air. You think I'm wrong to think Obama might be involved in this?
I don't know about Obama being a part of it or in it, but I'll tell you, you're dead on about this devil's breath. I've heard it referred to as dragon's breath. Now, where I live at, they beta test a lot of this stuff, especially these snatch and grabs that you see the little, the black kid communities doing. Where I live, it's 99% black, and they just went into they'd go into Walmart and steal all the electronics. This was like 10 years ago, and they'll have Walmart security, tape them, and then they'll arrest them. But every single one of them kids because I stay in and out of the prison system. This is a prison planet. You go to jail for anything and everything around here. This is the home of Khalid Sheikh Mohammed, Nate Turner back in the Civil War days. But what they do is they take you get arrested, they take you down to the police station, and they do drugged interrogations. Why this is important is if you belong to any religious denomination that is classified as a cult. Now, a cult is somebody who uses drugs as a part of their ceremony.
Now, I understand, like the Hopi Indians with mescaline, with peyote. You're telling me that the police are giving people truth serum at the police department?
I don't think that is truth serum, because I grew up in the occult, the Mormon faith, and they use these drugs as a part of their sacrament, and you feel like you're, like you have the Spirit of God in you. You have a warm, comforting feeling. Religious people will tell you, when
Wait a minute, you're saying now the Mormons are giving people drugs? I thought it's the opposite. Very interesting, sir. We're going to move along. Thank you for those points. We're going to talk to Matt, Jeff, and many others straight ahead. Big news blitz coming up, and a key report about to get posted at Infowars.com as well. We've got the photo up at Infowars.com, but if you go to Drudge, it's headline, Joker turns zombie. And if you click on it, his head is rolling to side, his eyes are wide open, he's basically can't even talk now, and that's exactly what we would expect in a staged event. Again, totally whacked out of his mind. Everybody's just saying, oh, he'll burn for this one. Yeah, the government says he did it. Yeah, they'd ship guns into Mexico to blame the Second Amendment and set people up, but they'd never, have criminals go into a movie theater and shoot a bunch of people. And the Mexican president says we should be made to turn our guns in now. Now, we should believe whatever he says. This is a country where tens of thousands get killed every year and the police are totally corrupt. Eyes rolling, head swaying, and that bright red hair. Colorado killer faces victims. He's the Colorado killer now. Smiles in bizarre first appearance. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Total and complete proof. Oh, and look, he's got the nice lawyer there helping him. I wonder if he'll, she's attractive. I wonder if he'll get appointed a famous mind control doctor and then no one will even think of it. I think it's a big deal like McVeigh had. Because, there's no such thing as mind control, even though it's all declassified. Let's talk to Anthony in Pennsylvania. Anthony, what do you think about all this?
Alex, Anthony Antonello, thanks for taking my call. This is absolutely incredible. We've been talking about this for years. We said all it's going to take, is one major event, whether it be a mall, a library, movie theater, anywhere. We already see the TSA rolling into Union Station in Chicago. We see these people. It's a complete takeover. It is so obvious, and I've been doing as much work as I can. Here's the thing: is you know this. You control the message. You control the people. And one of the things that I really focus on is calling local radio stations. Well, I've been hammering on the NDAA and, things of that nature. I just confronted Congressman Lou Barletta a couple days ago.
By the way, it's totally blowing people away right now that the NSA has been forced to admit they are spying on everyone in real time, totally illegally. What do you make of them running a drill of the exact same thing happening? Now, in the case of 7/7, it was even the same buses and same location, same time. This was just running a drill that day of the movie theater being attacked in the area and the guy using a bomb as a diversion while he shot people. I mean, again, every time they're running drills. On 9/11, they were running drills of the same thing. How obvious does this have to get?
I called Nancy Lapham. She's the one who wrote that article in the Denver Post. I called her a couple hours ago. I asked her if it was okay for me to record the conversation, and she told me that her inbox is flooded with emails of people talking about conspiracies and that, it happened afterwards, and this was planned months ahead. She said something about they got their idea from Israel. But she's like, yeah.
Hey, listen to this. Listen to this. I watched some of the press conferences, and that police chief who never talked about the victims but talked about what a great job the police had done all day. I mean, he would just go on and just keep repeating it. He said, don't believe everything you read on the internet. Yeah, no kidding. But he was talking about, quote, conspiracy theories. Did you see that where he's like, day one on Friday night, he's up there saying, don't believe what you read on the internet. What, like all the witnesses saying 2 shooters? You mean like that?
Right. It doesn't surprise me at all. And here's the thing, like where I'm at in northeastern Pennsylvania, our local radio stations, we have a host who believes I don't know if he really believes it or not, but he supports every single official story from JFK to now. And, I've organized call-in bombs and, I organized a couple hundred people to call in and talk about this. And he just spins it to the point where, like I said, now I can't even call their shows. Well,
that's all right. Just keep it up. Call into All the Talk Radio and plug Infowars.com while you're at it. We're going to go to break. Long segment coming up. I'm going right back to your calls when we return. Then I've got Darren McBreen's news piece, ATF boss threatens whistleblowers. This came out last week, but Darren breaks it down really well. Imagine putting out an internal video threatening people not to report on crimes inside ATF. But hey, Joe Paterno's statue was taken down. Last year, I told you Paterno knew what was going on. And people sent me emails saying, how dare you say Popo or whatever his name was. What was his stupid nickname? They said, how dare you say Poo-Poo or Poppy Poop or whatever it was would do this. Hey,
we're on the
crazy. If I know that governments have staged terror attacks over and over again, and they've got the motive, and then I say, hey, we better look into the system being involved in this. Ladies and gentlemen, for the last 5 months, I have been selling A Noble Lie, Oklahoma City, 1995, and begging people, I'm in it, to buy it. In the film, I warned that Obama is probably going to stage domestic terror attacks to blame the Second Amendment. It's got Jane Graham that saw the feds planting the bombs in the building. It's got the inventor of the neutron bomb. It's got General Parton, the head of Air Force Weapons Development, the late Hoppy Heidelberg, the grand juror that was threatened. His life was threatened if he didn't stop wanting to know about the feds and the bombs. They interviewed the family members of the cop that was tortured and murdered. I mean, it's the only professional film. Look, I made Road to Tyranny 10 years ago, and it's got the newscast with the bombs being removed, and it's got some of the eyewitnesses, but it's 40 minutes of a 3-hour film. In the past, I put out like 3-hour films. And it's a professional film. But I made it with myself and my wife and Buckley Hammond. And Mike Hansen doing some of the camera work. 4 people worked on it. And that was while I was doing a radio show. That was, 10 years ago. We were still a tiny operation. A Noble Lie, Oklahoma City, 1995. Looks like Discovery History Channel. That's because some of the guys that worked on it worked for Discovery and History. And they would hear all this over the years, interviewing the eyewitnesses and survivors. They all say, Basically, all of them say it's an inside job, and then they would be ordered to edit all that out for ABC, CBS, NBC, CNN, Fox, and so that was how this film got made. Plus, all these years they're like, wow, we want to make a film about the truth. So that's why it looks so good, is that it had a lot of big, TV professionals involved in it. A Noble Lie, the only film exposing this false flag event in a professional and modern way, where all the facts are in. I first made my film about it just 5-6 years after it happened. The point is this is 16 years after it happened, 17 years after it happened. We have A Noble Lie available at Infowarshop.com, and these support True Media and the whole crew we've got here and the filmmakers of this documentary. They're going to be joining us because, what did we say? Get this out before they stage new terror attacks. And we say, what kind could they be? New federal buildings, mass shootings, shopping malls, grocery stores, movie theaters. I know I said it, and our guests said it over and over again. And then a month ago, the FBI flyer came out to law enforcement. We got a copy. We covered it on air, and they said, movie theaters will be attacked. And I said, that means they'll attack movie theaters. The FBI pulled that flyer. We have the flyer saved. We have it up at Infowars.com. The point is, ladies and gentlemen, that's why this film needs to be shown to everybody. A Noble Lie, Oklahoma City, 1995. The very attorney general was the deputy attorney general, and we have his emails that came out in the lawsuits. They had email back then, folks, at the federal government in 95. And the point is they were using it. And he said, this is a D-Day situation. We got to get down there and get on top of this and cover this up right now. And boy, did they. Yeah, cover what up? The fact that all the bombs didn't go off? Didn't matter. They had Controlled Demolition Incorporated come in, the same folks that got rid of the wreckage on 9/11. They came in, blew it up, took out the wreckage, and poured concrete in with it, and had Wackenhut guards guarding it last time I checked. A landfill with guards guarding it, with the pieces mixed in with concrete in a 30-foot hole. Man, you didn't want that getting looked at, did you? Even if archaeologists wanted to get into there, they're going to have trouble. Don't want folks looking into that, do you? Okay, we have the total proof that it was an inside job. Infowarshop.com, get it. Guys, do we have the 4-minute McBrain piece on ATF boss threatens whistleblowers? Because he told me this morning at like 10 a.m. Yeah, we've got it. It's in the system. The thing is, he put it on the system for you, so it'll have to be looked at. Like I said earlier, we're going to play that. Let's go ahead and go to Matt in Florida. Matt, you're on the air. Welcome.
Hey, Alex, how you doing? Hey, if you're a crackpot, I'm a crackpot. I've heard Karl Rove say that on Fox News, that Obama needs an OKC bombing to make his popularity go up. So...
Well, you know why Karl Rove can say that? Because we have all these memos and 3 different top advisors writing articles saying they want one and it would sure help them. And again, they sent them out 2 years ago to fundraisers, to their $1 million type donors. Glenn Beck even covered it, saying there's going to be a new Oklahoma City. Don't worry, Obama's going to win, and we're going to blame it on people. I mean, they don't even hide it. I mean, they don't say we're going to do it. They leave that one last piece out. But if I'm like, yeah, don't worry, I'm going to have $1 million next week, and the bank gets robbed down the street, and you're like, where'd you get the $1 million? I don't know.
I flew out of Denver International Airport on Friday afternoon, and I didn't see those Nazis pictures that you're talking about, but I opted out of the body scanner. And there's a 13-year-old girl next to me and a mom, and the TSA guard goes, oh, these ain't the same body scanners that give out x-rays. And she had the nerve to say that the cell phones give out more radiations, and then the mom wanted to opt out her child, but the TSA guard still made her go through. I opt out. I got the pat down. And then this creepy old guy, you're right, they are creepy. Asked if there was any sensitive areas of me where I'd be patted down. I go, yeah, my groin. I don't want you to touch my groin. He goes, any more talk like that, I'm going to have to get my supervisor and take you into the back room. And I said, I ain't going in no back room. I said that real loud, but he patted me down. And
No. I'd warned you. The new intimidation, especially with old women, is the rape room.